Hello, everyone. My name is Tungo. I'm senior lecturer in language and literacy education at University of New South Wales in Sydney, Australia. It is my great honor to be invited to talk about how Michael Halliday has influenced my research. So Halliday's has influenced my research in four areas. First, language research, language, literature, and literacy education research, multimodality, and paralanguage research. I'm going to explain to you a little more about each of these areas. First of all, Halliday's architecture of SFL has allowed me to research distinctive interpersonal resources in Vietnamese language. And in my research, I could find that some of these distinctive language resources in Vietnamese, you cannot find it in English, and they act as, they can be deployed as resources for expressing tenor relation or affect and appreciation and graduation. So basically, these are interpersonal resources, mainly for expressing tenor relations, hierarchy, respect, and attitudinal meanings. For paralanguage, together with my colleagues, Jim Martin, Suhut, Claire Penta, Bradley Smith, and Michelle Zapavinia, we worked on a Bloomsbury published book called Modeling Paralanguage using systemic functional semiotics. So it was built on basically the architecture of SFLs allow us to think about the meaning potential of how we can model meaning potential of paralanguage. And in my research in particular, I focus on the interpersonal function of facial expression, gesture, body language, and voice quality. Halliday's SFL also allowed me to research the emotive functions of the sung voice. So in the field of multimodality, I looked at singing performance and film. And in researching film, Halliday's three meta functions was also very useful for me to conceptualize or to theorize the three meta functions of film sounds, in particular music and sound effect. I also link how the meaning potential of other filmic resources such as visual can realize literary meanings. For example, how it creates suspense, tension, construct character, develop plot, construct mood setting, physical setting. So it allows me to link linguistics, semiotics, and literature. And Halliday's SFL theories also allow me to develop my methodology for analyzing narrative films as multimodal literary text. The application of the conceptualizing the modeling work allow me to apply my research into more like education research, from the teaching of writing, differentiation of teaching of writing to twice exceptional students such as gifted and EAOD student who speak English as an additional language or dialect. And also it allows me to evaluate the teaching of writing of in Vietnamese, in the Vietnamese language arts curriculum from the SFL genre perspective. All these works also allow me to look at how teacher orchestrate language and gesture in explaining science concepts in science images. And more recently, I'm working on how to teach films as multimodal digital literary text in both primary and secondary classroom context, and also in training teachers for teaching a variety of forms, of literary forms. For example, the same story, but there are some distinctive features of written literature, graphic novel, or picture book versus the film adaptation of the same literary work. So these are the things that are very briefly in 10 minutes. I hope that I can highlight the importance of Halliday's architecture of the SFL theory that has allowed me to research in the early days Vietnamese language in particular, then paralanguage, and at the moment I'm working on all the resources in film. So, and that will fit back to my work as a senior lecturer in language and literacy education. So all of this is going to help me train future teachers or in-service teachers of in Australia and hopefully in other countries, so that the teaching of language, literacy, and literature can be more powerful and effective. Thank you very much, Michael Halliday. Happy 100th birthday.